Okay guys, I'm going to be pretty particular about this. I'm going to be huge about making you use your arrow notation in order to show me what you do, because sometimes we graph wrong, but your work on the side lets me know you still understand the concept. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to translate this triangle DEF along the vector 3, -1. Well, what does that mean? Well, that means my arrow mapping for this really is x, y goes to x plus 3, y minus 1. So that's how I'm going to translate it. So when I put in my points, I go, all right, D is over here at -3, -1. So D prime, I'm going to have to add 3 onto my x, which gives me 0. And I'm going to have to subtract 1 away from my -1, so it's a -2. And I do that for all 3 of them. So I get E over here is at 5, -3, so E prime is going to be at 8, -4. And F over here is going to be at -2, -2, so F prime is going to be at 1, -3. So it tells me how to do this. So let's do this like before. Let's let our pre-image be in blue, and we'll let red be our image after we do our translation. So D is at -3, -1, so I'm over here at D. E is at 5, -3, so we're at 5, -3. Boy, I'm not going to be real accurate today with this, I can tell. F is at -2, -2. So it's this really long, kind of narrow triangle that I have that I'm trying to move. Now I want to move over horizontally a distance of 3 and vertically a distance of 1. So I go over here. I get my D prime. That's going to be at 0, -2. So this is where D is. Notice it went 3 over, down 1. My vector tells me +3, down a -1. So that's our D prime. Our E prime's at 8, -4. So here's 5, 6, 7, 8. I go down -4. So here is your E prime. And then F is over at 1, -3. Make sure I got that one right. 1, -3. Yep. So we plug these in. You can see how it shifts a +3 down 1. Kind of easy to do. The same type of idea happens with the quadrilateral, any other type of shape, but again, show me your arrow notation. That's going to be huge and with keeping me happy as a teacher, and I'll give full credit on it. This does make it take longer, but again, less errors are going to happen because you can kind of see where your notation is going to go. You can see your vector process. So if I'm using this, -3, -3 is my vector. That means I go 3 to the left and then I go 3 down. So my mapping for this be x minus 3, y minus 3. Does that make sense with our mapping and arrow notation? So I'm going to plug it in real quick. R's at 2, 5. So R prime is going to be at -1, 2. S is at 0, 2. S prime is going to be at -3, -1. T is at 1, -1. T prime is going to end up being at -2, -4. U is 3, oops, did I miss? Yeah, I got this right. U is at 3, 1. So U prime is going to be at 0, -2. So hopefully we got all these down real quick so we can see these and be able to put them in. So let's graph RSTU first. S is at 2, 5. We got R, excuse me, is at 2, 5. Wow, I can't even read my letters. S is at 0, 2. There's S. T is at 1, -1. And then U is at 3, 1. So we have this quadrilateral right here. All right. So then with that, we're going to have to go to our primes. So I'm going to go in red. Smiley face. to go with it. Our red one, what do we got here? R prime is at -1, 2. And then S prime is at -3, -1. S prime. T prime is at -2, -4. And then U prime is going to be at 0, -2. So you can tell that it just shifted to the left 3 and then down 3. You guys see the difference in the two? Hopefully that kind of gives you an idea. Make sure I do these a little bit darker. How to work with these. So it's not hard stuff that you need to do, but you need to be able to graph them pretty well. All right, let's do another one.